send a new link because it's not letting me start the other stream back up. I can only do it on stream now. So I'm going to send this video URL to you, and would you please paste it into the other one?
Into what?
Into the other chat, because I'm live again. I just can't turn it back on the other thing because YouTube is dumb. Oh wait, no, it says
What?
I'm so confused. Chat.
Yeah, I did that.
Okay, thank you. Computer breaks. There's no reason to schedule live streams. That's basically the what I've come to. I thought it would be a good idea. I did it, and now I'm never gonna do it again. All right. But what was I saying? I was saying something about style, I think.
We're talking. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't think personally style's important, because I mean some people have told me that they like my style, but when I think about my art, I'm like, I don't have a style. I kind of just do whatever I feel like doing in the moment.
Yeah.
And especially if you do animation, in my opinion, especially when it comes to like professional animation, it's kind of better if you don't have a unique style, because you always have to match the style of whatever production you're working on.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Do you have any thoughts about that, or?
I learned very early on, hey OSG draws are talking about style. I learned very early on, because people would always say, don't worry about style, and I was like, okay. And so I never worried about style. And basically, I figured, as people would always say, it comes with time. And it comes with doing whatever you want, and eventually you'll find something that you like, and you could stick with it. And you could have multiple styles if you really want to. Like, in high school, I did two things. I learned a lot of anatomy stuff, and I experimented a lot. So I have art that I think is hard to look at, because it was like really janky looking, because I stylized it really weird. But but it's reasonable, because I was experimenting, because I wanted to figure out what I wanted to do.
Right.
And even now I experiment a lot. Like, I don't stress out about it. Like, oh, what's my style? I'm more just like, I'm like, maybe this style would look cool, and I just do it, and I'm like, oh, this is interesting. And I don't really share it, but sometimes I'll do, like, I have this one style I thought of that's basically super, like, the heads are huge and the limbs are really skinny, but the hands are big. And,
I would like to see it at some point if you're
I have something like that. Let me I have a drawing I did, because it was for my digital drawing class. I'm gonna send it to you on Discord.
Sounds good. ASD Draws is about to leave because they're like, I gotta go, I'm tired. So, if you're still here as I say this, get some rest. Be well rested. Rest is good.
Goodbye.
When I'm finished with this, I'm gonna hit the hay so hard. I'm gonna hit with my sword. The one with 7 spikes. Because I gotta be extra.
But, yeah, just, like, do what you want.
Yeah.
Do it for fun. And I've been experimenting a lot lately, because, I feel like the way I draw is a bit, typical, I guess. Like, I really don't want to have, like, a look that's generic.
Right. That's understandable.
Because sometimes I see people who are like, yeah, the art's nice, but I see it all the time. Like, I see clones of, like, really popular art. I don't know if I about this with you. I talked about this with someone. Like, I see a lot of people who like copy like Lowish or like Sakumi-chan a lot, and I'm just like,
One I see a lot is like Vistipop copy stuff.
Vistipop.
You don't know Vistipop?
I'll probably recognize it when it's that notable.
I don't know if it's a she. I'll send you stuff later because I am actually.
Yeah, I can just Google it. Hold on.
Okay. Because it's weird because her stuff it all looks like it belongs to her, but none of it is like fully the same.
Misty Pop?
No, Visty. So.
Misty, okay.
Yeah.
I heard Misty.
There's like a Die Young animation and some other cool stuff.
Okay, you want to send it to me because I'm clearly not. Oh, yeah, I sent you the image of like the.
I saw it. I really like it.
Thank you. But basically, that's from like a bunch of other people, actually. But
Here you go.
Yeah, I've been experimenting lately because I've like, with like Oh, is this the I've seen. My sister showed this to me. It's the Zoophobia girl. Okay, yes, I've seen.
Like
I could see it.
Yeah. Like even though all of her stuff is kind of different, it's also all kind of the same in a good way. Like if you see it by passing, you know it's her, which is good in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
So, but it's funny because I'll definitely see like animation memes with characters that look like hers, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. You're inspired by Vistipop. So I may be saying the name wrong. That may have been part of why you had trouble finding them.
No, it's fine.
I don't know. I get excited when I look at YouTube memes, like, I guess meme animation stuff, because especially right now while I'm taking history of animation, one thing we've been talking about is like the silly symphony cartoons. And while they're vastly different, the generic idea of characters doing stuff to music is basically the same. So it's like a revival of that characters doing stuff to music era of animation. So, and it's good practice. Like people are I've seen some like little ranty things that are like, you don't improve as an animator if you make animation memes, and it's like, that's not true solely because they're making things. And you can see that they get better.
I think that can go both ways in that I feel like this doesn't get said a lot where like so it's good to practice and to work and make stuff, but sometimes it is possible to make things wrong. Or
that is true.
Or like people think I just have to draw every day and I'll get better. Well, not necessarily. If you draw the same like two things and you keep drawing them wrong all the time, then you're not going to really improve that much. But if you are smart, like what's that phrase? Like work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
So like if you do the right thing, if you do studies and you do studies right, if you you're able to like if you pay attention to what you're doing so that you're not just like copying like what you see in front of you, you're actually learning from it, apply what you learn into like your regular art, you're doing it right. With the animation memes, I can, because it's very limited animation.
Yeah, depending on who you watch, of course.
Yeah. Just I'll probably look into these more too. But what I understand is that if you do nothing but try to like cheat animate, I know I always say that word, but if you do nothing but like try to take shortcuts and like not really try to make nice looking animation and try like the cheapest, most limited animation you can, you're not that much better as an animator. But if you take your animation memes to practice doing like nice but small nice animation, I guess, where like you put a lot of work into it, but it's not gonna be that long. But you just want to like make it look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing. So I've been having this mental debate with myself about what if there I mean, obviously they're animation because if a character is moving and if it gives the illusion of life, then it's an animation. But I've been trying to debate, would an animation meme count as animation or motion media? Because in motion media, the main focus is the visual aesthetic and oddly not actually the motion. So in a lot of, like, for instance, the stuff I've been doing for motion media, I've been doing a lot of, like, limited frame work. Like, most people work 8 frames a second. When it comes to, like, what is it called? Liquid animation, where things morph into each other. A lot of people work, like, 8 frames a second, and I'm like, that's really cool. It's animation, but it's not animation. Because it's motion media. And I'm like, because it's so because animation means a lot of times, especially for like people starting out, it's like experimental. Some of them to me register more as like a motion media project than an animation project because it's so heavily focused on the visuals than the movement. I don't know. I find it interesting. That's one of the reasons I'm talking about it, because I'm like, my only other friend who like knows what they are isn't in animation school, or like she does art but she doesn't know all the lingo, so I keep wanting to be like, would it count as motion media or animation? And she's like, both. And it's like, which it probably does count as both, but I don't know, it's fascinating to me.
My friend is texting me. She does this a lot where texts me how lonely she is.
Oh. I'll be sure to let you know next time I'm lonely.
It's not so much like Lily, this is like she wants a man.
Oh.
Where she's like, shit, I'm never gonna please.
I didn't find a boy until I stopped looking for a boy.
Well, here's the thing, she's actively, but she's still annoyed that she doesn't have one. I was like, girl, I don't know what to do. I don't have any dating.
Rip.
I was talking to this particular friend, and we were talking about like.
Oh no, Shannon.
Brother.
Oh, there you are. It cut out again. It cut out again, and I was like, no! Story time!
No, I was saying something funny. God damn it. When did I cut off?
Before you said anything funny.
Okay, so, this my lonely friend. We were once talking about, like, the kind of guy. And I said, I like guys who are kind of... And she said, oh, you mean like your...
It keeps cutting out the funny part!
Oh my god!
It's like... That was literally you going, like, almost about to deliver the punchline, and then basically bleeping out the punchline. Like, it only bleeped out the one word. And it's like, what? So, the universe is super anti you telling me this joke.
Oh my god, worst case scenario, I had to type it. Okay, I'm gonna try it, like, one more time. So, my friend, lonely friend, we were talking about, the guys we're into, and I said, I like guys who are fun. And she said, oh, you mean guys like your brother?
Oh, okay. So it cut it cut out a little bit when you said younger. Did you say younger?
Did I say younger?
What I heard was I like guys that are and then
oh no. Okay, I'm just gonna type it up.
Please do. I don't know. I don't know what you said. I'm trying my best. I'm giving it my solid effort. My super solid snake effort.
Okay, I put it in the description.
Oh, okay.
So basically she was like, oh, you mean you guys like there? And I was like, do you not realize how creepy that sounds?
That is kind of creepy to say.
And the reason why she said it like that was because my brother is her only frame of reference for like punk dudes.
Oh, I mean, I guess that makes sense, but
and
like,
I know it was like, girl, did you really have to? And I have to be like, I can't say yes to that.
No, you can't.
I can't. I didn't even say it. So I'm like, oh,
you're not from Alabama, so you can't.
My dad's from South Carolina.
That's not southern enough.
My dad's family's kind of south. They're pretty southern. I'm talking to my granny, like, he's like, oh, Shannon's house school. I love my granny. Fuck. But yeah.
Ooh, I think Courtney finished cleaning up a shot.
Yay! I haven't like touched it in weeks.
What?
I have to work on the minion stuff. I haven't touched it in weeks, and I feel bad.
Yes, he finally finished. There's a smear on the eye. That's cool. He finally finished. Sorry, he's been working on that way too long. Just
look at that smear. I love smears.
Smears are fantastic.
Tell him I said it looks great. Thumbs up emoji.
He's been working on it way too long, but it does look fantastic. So at least there's that. Granted, he cannot spend that much time on the other 4 shots he's claimed for himself to clean up. Because he's worked on that for... Granted, he has worked on little other things between, but he's been working on that for like 4 weeks now.
Oh, man.
And it's like, dude, you know you can't work this slow. Your film can't get finished if you work this slow, which means I'll have to do more. It's half selfish and then half like, because I mean, if I really wanted to be if I was really selfish and like butthurt about it, I could just drop the film. But I don't want to do that because I believe in his film. So it's like either I have to do more, or he and I have to do more, or he has to do more all by himself. And if he has to do more all by himself, then that's like, that goes from like 50% more work to like 180% more work.
Oh my god, my friend, she's driving me crazy. I feel like she complains to me at least once a week. Well, it's more like, I'm like, then go try to find someone, and she's like, but no.
Just get a mail order husband.
Like Russia. Good.
What, is that not appropriate to say?
No, that's funny. I personally think if I really wanted to, I could just go out there. I can get that, but I don't try for several reasons.
See, I don't have that mentality at all.
Well, you're also very extroverted, as you've told me before. So for you, meeting people is really easy. So eventually,
not romantic. I'm actually really picky romantically, though. I have a lot of issues when it comes to that. So meeting people, yes, but meeting people solely for the sake of romance, absolutely not. I couldn't do it if I would. Like, if someone held a gun to my head and they're like, find another boyfriend, it's like, and it's like, what about a boy and girlfriend? It's like, no, I still can't. You're just gonna have to shoot me.
Oh my gosh. I mean,
I can't do.
she always complains about like she's in class that she has like classes with are talkative, so she doesn't feel like comfortable going up to them and talking to them. And I'm like, girl, just fucking download Tinder. And she's like, no, I'm too ugly. And I'm like, oh my god, ugly people be happy too.
No one's too ugly for Tinder.
Yeah, right.
Tinder used to make me so I had a Tinder.
Oh my god.
Freshman year and sophomore year, and I say I'm pansexual. I'm kind of like pansexual, but also ace. Like I'm attracted. So I'm like sexually attracted to people, but at the same time it's like, but I don't actually don't wanna screw you. So, but obviously, so me having a Tinder is obviously the best idea, right?
Yeah.
I didn't. I should have signed up for Christian Mingle.
Farmers only.
I didn't meet a single person that didn't basically be like, "Hey, you wanna screw?" I would say the other word, but I'm trying not to curse. You wanna screw, or like obsessively trying to meet me in person before. Like I would be like, "No, I'm not comfortable meeting you at a coffee shop because you haven't even talked to me yet. I would rather just talk to you on here for a little while." And they're like, "Okay." And then like they wouldn't respond for like 4 days, and then they'd be like, "Hey, you want to meet up?" And I'm like, "No." And it even says in my description, like I put I'm ace, so I'm asexual. Please don't swipe right if you just want some pook.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, maybe Tinder, and I'm like, no.
I mean, that's the biggest drawback with Tinder is it's like...
I know, like, people go there to
hook up.
Have sex. Let's just be transparent about it. Like, you don't go on there to... Though it's like...
Unless you're me, you don't go on there to try and meet someone new for the sake of, like, just romance.
Yeah.
Unless you're me, you don't do that.
I fully believe anyone can find someone, because there's several someones out there. And other people can get boyfriends and girlfriends.
Yeah, I believe anyone has the capacity to like find someone if they want someone. Like,
yeah. My brother Ryan, I was Ryan, did you like choose not to date in high school? And he was like, "Yeah, Shannon, if I wanted to date, I would have gotten mad bitches."
would have gotten mad.
Oh god, all them girls. But
where them girls at? Girls at?
I was talking to people about it where it's like, I would feel very weird with him having a girl. It's not that I wouldn't understand why people would like him, but because I think he's very charming and I think he's fun, but the idea of him having a girlfriend was really weird to me. I explained it that he is so goofy and like kind of weird that the idea of him being intimate or like romantic in any sort of sense is very like weird for me.
Sometimes I have that thought about my own significant other. I'm like, man, I adore him. You've met him now. You've talked to him.
Yes, because I was yes.
I adore him. He's great.
Yeah, he's cool.
Sometimes when I talk to him, I'm like, man, I can't imagine you being sweet and not talking about sex. But then he does sweet, cute things, and I'm like, you're a teddy bear. It's good. He's interesting. He's interesting, and he has a nice voice.
Yeah, he seems when I talk to him.
This is gonna sound really weird, but my only, like, I guess, because I don't have many preferences when it comes to physical traits. Mm-hmm. One of the few ones I do, though, is nice voice. So I landed a perfect 10. Like, so, like, sometimes he'll make references to being, like, because he's a fairly tall. He's not. I don't think he's super fat, but he's a larger dude. Like, I'm a larger dude. Mm-hmm. And it's like, dude, I don't care about any of that because your voice is velvet and I'm attracted to that. I am actually just voice sexual. Just. Voice kink, yes.
Ew. Don't bring that into here.
It was mostly a joke.
I don't care. None of that.
Also, I'm mostly ace, so it holds no ground aside from me appreciating a voice.
One of my favorite things about you is that you're a lot more like the friends I used to have, like back home, where people were talking about earlier, like the freaking queer kids at my high school. You have a way closer sense of humor to what I'm used to, because like when I talk to like Kristen and Kaylin, I sometimes feel like I have to be a bit more like I have to be careful. Like I can't be too out there.
See, I remember you were talking about that one.
Some crazy shit.
You were talking about that once before. You were like, man, back home with my friends, I'm super vulgar, and like my ears like started burning, and I was like, Shannon needs to get to know me better because I can really like because
I always love that. Feel free to get like as raunchy and stuff, but like raunchy humor is my absolute favorite.
Go ahead.
Oh, you go. Okay, fine. The thing with me is that I'm simultaneously very raunchy, but also a bit of a prude, in that I could joke about like really nasty stuff, and you could ask me, "Hey, Shannon, are you into holding hands?" And I'm like, but yeah.
It's always funny because like I like to look back into my mental past, and like I wasn't comfortable with raunchy humor basically until I got to college. There were only like a few people, and even then, like I'm very, at least I used to be. I'm normally, not normally because things are changing, but like up until recently I've always been very picky about who gets to see which side of me, because I'm not like a two-faced person, but I know there are like certain quirks about me that may be undesirable for certain people, and they're not essential. They're not essential to my personality, so I just turn it off.
Yeah, you'll hear me talking about spiritual and stuff like that, because I'd be like, I don't want to offend anybody.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but no, I definitely understand where you're coming from. Probably one of the hardest things I had to deal with that way wise is when I lived with Kaya.
Oh my god.
I had just stopped being as like prude about what people say, and I had started cursing more at this point in my life. And Kaya, Kaya does not curse at all unless a computer auto corrects to shit instead of shot for the film. And she gets so upset when that happens. She's like, I never say this word. Why would you autocorrect this word? But like I sometimes struggled because I was trying to figure out which version of myself to be because I was, I lived with her. So it's like I can't not be myself in my own home. So obviously now I don't have as much of a struggle. I'm basically just me with less, or not even less cursing, just I don't even tone it down anymore, let's be honest. As I've got similar to there are a lot of things that are starting to happen for me that are similar to like my senior year of high school, whereas like senior year of high school, I stopped caring about a certain number of things. Yeah. Never schoolwork, but like things that people expected me to do. And like I'm feeling it happen again. Like recently, like within the past like month or so, I have maybe more than a month, I have completely stopped caring about people's initial impressions of me, especially online. Like if I'm gonna be weird and freak someone out, it's gonna be on probably the first couple of interactions. And if you can deal with me after that, then it's worth pursuing a friendship. Like because I've always been super overly polite when I first meet people. And then I slowly devolve into the rude, not even rude, but just like the person I am talking to you right now. Yeah. Because like for instance, when I first got to SCAD and I emailed my future 2 roommates, I sent them an email and I didn't hear anything back for a while. And then I got an email back that was like, hey, I've been talking to our other roommate and we both thought that your messages were like auto messages through SCAD from me through SCAD. Like they thought that SCAD like auto emailed them through my account. So they got when they realized that because that's just how overly polite and professional it was.
Oh my gosh.
And when they realized that they didn't get ones from each other, they started talking and they were like, should we email this third person back? And then they did. And I was like, oh no, that's just how I start off talking to people. And now it's just like, listen, the version of you that you have in front of you is the version you're gonna get. And you can, if you don't like it, I'm sorry. Have a nice day. ASD draws, even though they left. Konnichiwa, my Tamagotchis.
Tamagotchi's Tomodachi.
Tamagotchi.
Tomodachi.
Tamoguchi?
No.
Every time you correct me, I'm gonna say it even more wrong.
I hate you. Okay,
part of it is because I just can't pronounce it. It's one of those words I can't pronounce.
It helps that it's in a different language, so.
Like, what is it? Now I really want to try.
Tomodachi.
Tomodachi.
Because the way you were saying it over was Tamagotchi.
No, I know that's how I was saying it, because I used to play them, and that's what they would call them around where I'm from.
Yeah, that's what they are, though. Tamagotchi. That's just, like, the English way.
Tamagotchi.
The Tomo is from... Because Tamagotchi is a combination of the word for friend and egg in Japanese.
Yeah. Is that not what your thing is? I know nothing about Japanese culture, by the way. What did you do? I'm so sorry.
I'm typing it.
Tomodachi.
I know it doesn't help as much since you have trouble reading, but still.
I think you're just about to show me the breakdown of the word, and you're just like, no, I say...
Yeah, I'm doing it.
And you're basically just telling me, no, what I say is the word for friend, and not the word for friend in an egg.
There, I did it.
Thank you. I'm not gonna look at it, because I saw the first one.
I don't even know
What?
You're unfiltered when you talk to people now.
What?
No matter what. So you were just before that Tomodachi show, you were talking about how you decided to be your authentic, unfiltered self even when you first meet people.
I mean, there's still some filtering because, like, there are some things my brain wants me to say that I'm like, whoa, I don't want to say that. You may have seen it happen before where, like, I'll be talking and then I'll just, like, stop and I'll stare into the distance.
I've never seen that. I wish I could say it.
I can tell you a story about a sophomore year that basically explains what my brain does. So it's I don't know what exactly is wrong with me in my brain. But one of the things, sometimes I'm like, I must have some minor form of, like, you ever animated something cool, like a square from Allen? I mean, sometimes. Anyway, back on topic. What was I saying? Oh, I was about to tell a story from sophomore year. I'm a crazy person. So, sophomore year, to give you a tiny little hint of what my brain is like. I don't know if you're still there, I think. Hello?
Huh? I'm on my phone and listening.
I just wanted to make sure you were still there so I didn't tell the entire long story and then you'd be like, what? So, sophomore year, my friend Caitlin, she doesn't go to SCAD anymore, but I loved her to death. And it was that same quarter that I was on. I was in the class. I was in Asquith's action analysis class, and so she would spend the weekends at my place at the terrace because she had a crappy roommate. And so one day specifically, I was exhausted. So she and I went home from class and then I passed out on my bed and she just hung out in my room. And I woke up, she was laying on the floor and I looked out the window and I had just woken up. So there was no time to use the filter. And I was staring out the window and I go, I have to say this with as straight a face as possible because I was completely serious when I said this. I was looking out the window, and then my brain said something, and I started, and I'll tell you what it said to me. I didn't say this out loud. I heard this in my brain, like, you know how you hear yourself talking before you talk? Sometimes I don't start talking after that happens. So this intrusive thought of, what if I just slithered out the window like a snake, popped into my head. And I just lost my mind. I started, because like my bed was right next to the window, so I was staring out the window, and that intrusive thought popped in, and then I just started laughing. Like I just started maniacally laughing, and just it went on for a solid 5 minutes. And Caitlin was like, "Oh my God, are you done?" Because I had just woken up, and I just started hysterically laughing, and so I was trying to tell her what my brain had done to me. And eventually I was like, Caitlin, you have to hear this thing. I started laughing because my brain was like, what if I just slithered out the window like a snake? And she was like, what are you talking about? So I have a lot of intrusive thoughts that will just pop into my head, and a lot of times there'll be things that I definitely don't want to say out loud.
Oh my God.
So even my unfiltered self has a filter against that. I must protect people from me because I can't protect myself from me. Let's see. I'm going to mispronounce this username, but Aline says, I already read the have you ever animated something cool like a square ? Slithered like a slimy salamander. Yeah, I like slithered out the window like a snake better. I like snacks.
Nick. Quirky spellings are like most of them, but there's only that I'm like I hate. I will. I mean, I don't like. I don't like. I hate popper, but thick, thick. Anything with two C's, thick especially. I love snick.
I didn't know you hated the word pupper.
Oh, I can't do it. Just like, oh, it's like I can't.
Do you just hate looking at the spelling, or do you hate?
No, it's
hearing?
just like I hate the feeling. I hate like it's just like the 15-year quirky and annoying.
You're cutting out again a lot.
Sorry.
It's interesting because I'm hearing you talk about this interesting topic of why you hate the word pupper in bits and pieces.
Is it better now?
I can't tell.
Talking.
I feel like it is, but at the same time, it could just decide to not be.
Okay. Anytime it does, just immediately be like. But the reason I don't like it, it's just that like it's the whole culture around it of like these annoying 15-year-olds on the internet, and also these grown-ass adults who act like annoying 15-year-olds on the internet.
Oh, so just people screaming, "Oh, look at this pupper!" Because they're just like,
or it's just, well, it's like if someone says like, "Oh, woo, I love my pupper, doggo, my sweet small baby." It's like that whole like culture. I can't do it because it's just so annoying, and the people like infantilize everything around them.
Oh God, please don't crash. Thank God. Okay. Let me save. My brain just like exploded. All right.
Oh my God. People who say heckin' can't do it. I can't.
There are some things I say that I know are probably annoying to people. Like I say fam a lot. I don't know if that's one of
Okay, yours. I like fam. I like
Another one I say is bae, but I have a specific reason. So I have a very specific reason because I used to hate the phrase bae. Because like that's my bae. It's like I hated it because I used to think of it as an abbreviation for the word baby, and I was like, that's dumb. But one of my friends was like, why don't you just look at it as if it's an acronym for best amazing ever? And I was like, now I'll say it forever.
Isn't it already an acronym for anyone?
You cut out again. What?
I always thought it was an acronym before anyone else. That's what I was told when it was popularized.
I don't know. I still like best amazing ever best. But before anyone else also, I guess, makes sense.
I personally would never call anyone bae. I don't really like it. I'm really stupid. Like as I've been in a relationship, but I pop super old school domestic and say like sweetie or.
Oh, I never say it about like actual significant other things. Who do you think I am?
I'm sorry.
I always.
Oh my God.
I normally use it to refer to like fictional characters.
Oh my fucking God. Okay, that's how I do it too. It's like, okay, what did I say? I said
because my go-to for like anyone, this is gonna be weird how I phrase it, but anyone that's like a quote-unquote girlfriend, boyfriend, a significant, I just call them a significant because I love the phrase significant other.
Okay.
Yeah, I know it's super weird, but like, so it has a history in my brain. So there's only one teacher I had from high school era that ended up learning that I was a queer person. But he's super liberal. Like, he's the only teacher I had that was super liberal, and he's old. Like, he's an old man. And he would always, whenever he would talk about friends of his that were gay, he would always use the term significant other. So I also use significant other to honor him in my brain. Because it's like, he's the only teacher I ever felt comfortable eventually, like, being like, yeah, by the way, I'm a queer person. And thank you for not hating people because of their gender or sexual identity. I feel like I had a bunch of teachers that if they were listening right now would have been like, their brains would just be mentally screaming and going, this is fine! This just rocks my entire worldview, but this is fine! Because, like, you and I were talking about it earlier, how you were like, yeah, I always knew. Yeah. And I'm like, that's fine. It's not like I hide it. It's just some, you know, especially people that have known me from childhood that have those deep Christian values are just like, who could have guessed? Who could have guessed this was a thing?
But then I look at you like, oh my god, if you weren't, I'd be shocked.
If you weren't gay, this would be really weird. I'm glad that's your mentality when you talk to me. before you knew, it's like if you weren't queer, this would be a weird.
Even then, I think my mentality is that I don't like assuming any people's sexuality, no matter what.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's kind of critical to what I just said, but like, I don't try to judge people like, oh, well, you like this, but if people can tell me in their own time if they want me to know, but I try not to assume anything one way or the other.
I try to assume that I don't know. I don't really especially like gender stuff. I try and use gender neutral until someone tells me a preference, and then for sexual identity, like
it's alright.
Words for like attraction and stuff. I'm like, I honestly just assume this was my assumption for the most part. It's like, no one likes anyone because I don't want to, I don't want to assume anyone likes anyone because I don't want to assume anyone would like me. Because if I assume someone would like me, and there are 4 people watching me ramble about gay stuff. But if I, like, that was my mentality, is like, if I assume people would be interested in my gender identity or myself, I don't know. It was this weird thing where it's like, I don't want to assume anyone likes anyone, like, and then if they tell me they're gay or straight, yeah. It's weird to talk about, and now I'm nervous because it says 4 people are watching, and that's a little horrifying for me because it's 2 a.m.
Keep my one.
What?
I'm one.
I know you're 1, so that's like 3 people watching. And also, I'm gonna mispronounce it again. Allen just retracted all of their messages. So, like, I just saw out of the corner of my eyes their comments being retracted, and I was like, oh, that's odd. I don't know what's happening. So, okay, I finished coloring this. I finished doing the thing. And I'm not putting it in After Effects tonight because I don't want to cry myself to sleep. I didn't want to put that color card. Also, it's like 2 a.m.
Yes. I was just told by your roommate that she's trying to sleep.
Oh.
Yeah, I moved.
Okay.
I'm outside my room now.
I'm probably going to just put this green screen and go to bed. Yeah. So, stream's almost over. It's been an interesting stream. I got to talk to you, I did karaoke, and I talked to new people. I'm so proud of myself for talking to new people.
Yeah.
Let's look at this beautiful green screen, shall we? Just, oh, that's eye-meltingly bright. It hurts my eyes because I'm really close to the Cintiq, so it's just like, oh god. Alright. I'm actually really proud of how this came out.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. I may go ahead and export it. I don't want to save it as, I just want to save it as it is. Export my movie. Export my... Okay, people have... It's back down to 2 people watching. That makes me feel better. Stop talking about the gay and people will leave. That's my new strategy. And it worked. That's one of the reasons I don't think I would ever want a huge fan base, even if I had the option to have one, because I get extremely nervous when a lot, like, and it's weird because I love doing theater. I think it's just the fact of, like, I don't know. It's weird. I don't like the idea of a lot of, like, an unmanaged, like, I don't like the idea of more people than I could talk to watching me. Because, like, at a theater, I could always just, like, run out after the show and, like, shake hands with everyone and, like, see their faces. But then on the internet, it's like, anyone could be watching, including my mother.
Humans.
Huh?
Hello, all you faceless humans.
Hello, faceless humans. I'm sure I'm a faceless...
Hello, you people who are nothing more than...
Because you moved, there's a great, like, reverb echo on your voice. So it's like, yeah.
I'm in the study room.
Okay. I'm gonna export this and then I'm gonna go to sleep, because...
Okay, because we have to get up slightly early tomorrow.
Yeah,
It's relative for me on a weekend.
I need to be up at least by 10 to make sure Phantom goes to the bathroom and stuff. Alright.
Yeah.
I thank everyone for watching the stream.